All right, so the hip pain I'm trying to deal with right now that's giving me issues is kind of like right here, down here, sort of like in this region here. So when I'm sitting, this will get irritated right here, just mild. But then I also feel something going on back here, like in the kind of QL region, but just kind of this whole entire area. And then when I massage it, roll it, it doesn't hurt as much. And you know, I'm actually thinking, like I said before, like I really don't think it's even massage. I mean, the rolling, it is helping, don't get me wrong, but I really think lying down on the ground is actually helping more than necessarily the rolling itself. Obviously both is good. I was trying to figure it out, like just doing some of the bent over rows. I can feel it a little bit, and I know if I extend myself too heavy, I'm gonna have some problems. One thing I noticed making me weaker, feel weak on that movement, is the fact that I can't seem to squeeze my shoulder blades together tight enough. And I squeezed it there on the last set, or last repetition or two, and it made it a lot easier, though my triceps are a little bit tired. All right, so kind of what I'm thinking about right now is kind of like closer or wider. The closer you go, the more triceps, less shoulders. Wider you go, less triceps, more shoulders, more traps. So that makes a lot of sense for me to do some wider grip to emphasize my delts. Of course, lateral raises will put them more, but I always want to save those for the end. I'm going to go ahead and try my best to probably do some wider and maybe some Kolkoff presses and go real wide, and we'll see how that feels. It felt like, well, I kind of kept moving my hands in so that I can kind of focus on pulling the bar apart and focus that kind of forward armpit position to get more external rotation torque, because my chest is so tight, real tight pec minor. It's just hard. It's crazy that Kolkoff can do that with like reps with like almost 300 pounds, I think. I saw him do like 225, I think, for like reps. Freaking nuts. This is 35, 75 pounds. It's freaking crazy. I'm kind of thinking about rest periods and like the importance of rest periods, because right now I'm not following any particular scheme, just kind of waiting for my muscles to feel all right. Powerlifting, you know, I got so much pressure between each set because I feel like I have to do good because I only have so many sets because I'm lifting heavy. With bodybuilding, it just seems like you're filling time. And I kind of think about like what's optimal rest. It looks to be about 90 seconds based on like research and stuff I've read and stuff I've come across, but it kind of depends on like your current adaptation, I would think. I guess really what it comes down to is really time management. So like how much time do you have to fit in a time span or reps and sets, because I guess volume is really the name of the game, but not so much volume with the weight's so light that there's no stimulus for growth. But the more important thing is the reps help the pattern. So I know that's really, really important. Like doing Kolkoff presses or behind the neck wide grip presses, whatever you want to call them, is definitely something that's not, it's something that's a little bit different. So it's a pattern I'm not used to. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that kind of medium grip and I'm just gonna bang out a ton of repetitions and just go. See how many I can get. You know when you see someone like overhead press a crap load of weight and they're at failure, but they eke out one more rep. Almost like what you saw me do there, but I can't really count it because it wasn't that heavy. Or I could probably went one for one more and you would have saw what I'm talking about, but you see someone arch a crap load, right? Obviously they're failing, they're fatiguing, but think about why they do that. Why does someone begin to lean back a ton as they begin to fail to do an overhead press or even a bench press for that matter? The reason is trying to get more leverage. So ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring your chest closer to the bar, or I should say maybe you're bringing the more advantageous muscle groups or muscle fibers towards the direction of movement. So in this case, gravity going straight down, the chest moving up, so you're arching back. Stop, Ellie, stop, Ellie. So arching back, so you lean back even more and more and more. So then that way you get these bigger fibers that cross the chest to the bigger area, and more fibers too, because then you go back and you're able to press, so you get more mechanical leverage, not just from your chest, but also your shoulders, or more activation versus being here, more upright, you don't have as much mechanical leverage. I'm not sure if I'm using that right, but I hope that makes any sense. Like on a bench, right? When you want to bench more, bench max weight, you bring your chest closer to the bar by arching your back. You might not necessarily arch your back, but you open up your chest more, trying to retract, keep the shoulder blades in a nice tight spot so that the back muscles can stabilize. And then what ends up happening is those chest muscles will recruit and they will contract and shorten, so that way your arm can, because remember the chest contracts like this, so the muscles move across your body like that. So if your shoulder blade begins to move forward, you're actually losing some tension in these fibers. I mean, the fibers are, the joint angle is closing because the shoulder's moving towards the chest, the sternum, but the problem is the fibers aren't contracting nearly as hard because the shoulder blade is moving out of position. One thing I do like about cold cough or even behind the neck presses is simply, it makes it easier to get my hands above my head. I do this, it feels pretty good. It feels easier than it normally does because I'm teaching external rotation with shoulder flexion. Kind of saw me wobbling side to side, and the reason why was actually testing which side was fatiguing, and it's pretty clear that my left tricep shoulder is weaker, whereas on the right side I can kind of bang out more. The other thing too I think about is muscles, whether it be left or right, are stronger in different parts of the range of motion. Because I'm pretty good deadlifter, mixed grip all the time, so my mixed grip form is flawless almost, but I'm able to kind of be able to do this mixed grip, but it patterns certain weaknesses, especially when done with lots of volume. Makes me think of that Bro Science video about how to deadlift, about muscle imbalances. Look like the hunchback Notre Dame. All right, so I already did sort of my heavy work or moderate work, I guess you can call it. Now I'm gonna move on to some light work. I got about 12 minutes left, or about 10 minutes of my workout left to go. And I'm just gonna do a burner. I'm gonna do some overhead presses with 55 pounds, as many reps as I can. And then I'm gonna do some lateral raises, probably mix it up with kind of side and then leaning forward for some rear delt action and medial delt focus. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a drop set with 15s for the lateral raises, and then 8 pounds for some more rear delt, maybe external rotations. And I'll take about a minute between sets. So I can see how, learn something new on that set, doing 55 pounds overhead, having some trouble. That's easy here, and then I get to here, I get kind of stuck. And I'm having trouble closing this. Actually, I'm tired right now. So I'm having trouble extending the elbow and shoulder, so shoulder flexion and elbow extension, right? So why is that? Why am I having trouble there? Well, the tricep is not able to fully extend because some tightness. It's contracting, but it's having trouble contracting here. It can contract here pretty good, but not here. Ooh, shoulders are smoked. So I'm having trouble extending. Also, the other thing that causes shoulder elbow extension and then shoulder, this is shoulder adduction, right? Is the front delt. So I actually have weak front delts. Never heard that before. A lot of people have tight front delts, overused front delts, tight shoulders, but I actually have weak front delts because I go up here and I'm actually having trouble closing this gap. It's pretty easy to say that's mostly the tricep because of bigger muscle, more dominant muscle at a better joint angle, joint leverage, but safe to say that my front delt's pretty weak. So looks like I need to be doing more front delt work, because even when I bench, I have a pretty developed chest relative to the rest of my body. So, and I'm